James Marlow. James, this is almost like a very positive thing for Ukraine, that they've managed to push back Russia from Kharkiv. What does that signify?
And that includes the towns and the villages around Kharkiv as well. It signifies that the Russians need reinforcements down in the south, and as a result, the intense fighting is really growing today, as it was last night, to get control of Donbass. Amazingly, Mariupol still has not fallen yet. But this was something that was predicted anyway, that the troops, Russian troops, tanks, artillery, would start to move from the centre to the south of the country in order to start to get control and to start to annex these parts in the south of Ukraine. Let me just update you also on Finland and Sweden. It's not clear, as far as I understand, whether Finland's application to join NATO has actually been submitted yet, or whether it's going to be done in the next couple of days. What we do know is, of course, it is going to happen, despite the fact that Russia has said, you better not do it. But the Finns are saying, we are going to do this. Now, why this is unprecedented is because that Finland has been independent, has not taken any sides since 1917. Now, 1917 was, of course, the Russian Revolution, when the Tsar fell and the Bolsheviks came to power under Lenin. Trotsky was also supposed to be in power, but he ended up with an axe in the back of his head.
Yes.
So Lenin led this, and that's when Finland decided to say, we don't want to get involved in either conflict whatsoever. Now, if it's to be believed that the Swedes will follow in the next few days to join NATO, an organisation that was set up in April the 4th, 1949, and let's remember why the United States and Canada and the West set it up. It was concerned that the Soviet Union was expanding communism and taking over countries, and therefore it wanted to set up a defensive mechanism whereby it would protect those countries that was not coming under the influence of the Soviet Union at that time. The Soviet Union, of course, has fallen since, but NATO still stands. This is what always got Putin's back up as such.
Yeah, but so what? It's not up to him whether other countries join NATO or not. I find it ridiculous that people are kowtowing to this man. Oh, well, he said you're encroaching on his border. Even the Vatican weren't prepared to completely condemn him. And I've been reading the Pope, they asked the Pope to try and do something to get him to listen. And even the Vatican weren't prepared to condemn him, because they said, well, the West has sort of created the situation by encroaching on the borders of Vladimir Putin, as though he's allowed. It's like somebody coming into your house and telling you, you can't go there in your house, or do that or do that. Why is he allowed to dictate in any way?
Well, the reason why this is a concern is because if you listen to Estonia, their military, their government as well, they are really concerned that the Russians are going to take Estonia. What's taking place in the last few days is serious NATO operations inside Lithuania and Latvia, three small countries right on the border with Russia. Again, they feel that they're under threat from Russia.
Well,
this is just 50 miles away from Russia itself, and this is where these NATO operations are taking place. Plus, you've got, as we said, Finland, Sweden. Sweden has been neutral since the early 1800s. It's unbelievable how all of a sudden their people are now supporting, we better join NATO because we are really concerned of a possible Russian invasion. So I think what Putin is thinking of, this is going to wind out for a long, long time, a year plus, and it's every single person is going to be affected around the world, meaning economically, food-wise, prices and energy.
Interesting stuff. Well, listen, thank you so much for that.